All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tackle a challenge that, let's be honest, we all face. How do you take that big, messy storm of thoughts in your head and turn it into a crystal clear, actionable plan?
You know the feeling, right? You're staring at that blank page, and it feels like it's staring right back at you. Your brain just checks out. It's super frustrating. But hey, that feeling? That's the starting line for pretty much every great idea out there.
So here's our game plan. We're going to go step by step, taking us all the way from the chaos of those early thoughts to the awesome clarity of a final structured outline.
Okay, first up, let's face that blank page head on and figure out how to unleash all the good stuff that's already rattling around in your mind.
Look, the goal here is not about being perfect. Not at all. It's really just about getting your ideas out into the open. It helps clear out all that mental clutter so you can actually see what you're working with. So what is brainstorming really? The best way to think of it is as a mental playground. Seriously, it's the one time where you can explore every single concept, every weird angle, every what if, and there's absolutely no judgment, no pressure. It's all about freedom and discovery. So, how do we fill up that mental playground? Let's get into some really powerful techniques for generating those raw ideas. Now, this is probably the most important part of this stage. You have got to switch off your inner editor. Don't you dare censor anything. The goal is pure quantity, not quality. You want to create a giant pool of material that we can then refine later on. For all you visual thinkers out there, mind mapping is going to be a game changer. It's a way to literally see how your ideas branch out from one central concept. You'll start to see connections you never would have noticed otherwise. And it couldn't be simpler. You just put your main idea right in the middle of a page. Then you start drawing lines outward for every single related thought that pops into your head. From those thoughts, you draw more lines, and you just keep going until you've got this amazing, sprawling web of all your interconnected ideas. Now, if you prefer a more structured approach, try thinking like a journalist. Just ask the classic questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. This forces you to really examine your topic from every possible angle. This is a great way to visualize that method, actually. It's called starbursting. You put your topic right in the middle, and then you dedicate each point of the star to one of those key questions. It creates this perfect visual prompt to make sure you've covered all your bases. Okay, so you did it. You used these techniques, and now you've got this mountain of ideas. It's awesome, but let's be real, it can also look like a total mess. So how in the world do you turn all of that creative chaos into something coherent? And that brings us to a really pivotal step, making sense of everything you've just generated. It's time to shift gears and start bringing everything into focus. This right here is a huge mental shift. You're moving from divergent thinking, that's the brainstorming part, to convergent thinking, where you start to organize and pick out the best of what you've got. And here's the aha moment. Our brains are not wired to create and critique at the same time. By splitting them up, you give your creative mind permission to go wild, and then you let your analytical minds come in later to build a structure. It's like a psychological cheat code for better ideas. The process itself is pretty straightforward. You just look at your big brainstorm and start grouping similar ideas together into themes. Then you can get rid of anything that doesn't quite fit or feels a little weak. And finally, you identify those core themes that are going to become the actual backbone of your project. Okay, so with your key themes identified and prioritized, it is time to forge the single most important sentence of your entire project. Your thesis statement is your North Star. It's the foundation of your whole argument, it's a promise you're making to your reader, and it's the guide that's going to keep all of your writing focused and on track. And check out the difference here. A weak thesis is just a vague observation, good and bad effects. Okay, so what? But a strong thesis makes a specific, focused climb. It actually takes a stand, and that's what gives your writing real power and direction. Finally, let's bring it all home. Let's see how all this hard work, the brainstorming, the organizing, and the thesis all comes together in a practical, powerful plan. Think of your outline as the architect's blueprint for a building. It is the essential bridge that connects all your raw materials, all those ideas, to the final polished draft. It's what makes sure everything fits together logically and supports your main structure. And this is where you can see it all click into place. Your thesis statement drives the whole structure. Each of those Roman numerals becomes a major section of your argument, and the letters underneath are your specific points and the evidence you're going to use. It's a clear, logical map to follow when you write. So, here's the bottom line. By following these steps, you're no longer just a writer staring at a blank page. You are now an architect, and you have a detailed plan ready to build your argument brick by brick with total purpose and confidence.
This whole process, it's not just for one paper or one project. This is a reliable system you can use for anything, for turning the chaos of creation into the clarity of a finished product. It gives you the power to build something meaningful from that very first spark of an idea. So, the real question is, what are you going to build with it next?